Hey guys, back with another video today. Finally got something for our work table that we bought. It's a bench vise. This is a undermount bench vise made by Vevor. Again, I'm really liking their products. But what we're going to do, I'm thinking about mounting it like right in the middle of the table. But then again, for the price of these things and what they are, I'm thinking about putting it down here, and then maybe later on I can put another one over here. Not a whole lot to mount in one of these. You do have to, which I think this is kind of silly, you got to get your own handle for it, which it is what it is. But I can mount it. I have a piece of some willow oak over here that I'm going to have to mill down. That's going to be the jaws of the device itself. So you will have to take these apart, but quality of this thing is really nice. I like it. So I guess first thing we're going to do is figure out how we want to mount this thing. It obviously needs to go about right here, if that's how I want to do it, but we could get two holes in this first 2x4. I'm probably going to have to beef up this back end. Now this is not a bench vise that mounts, up top and you're going to be beating on it with metal and stuff like that. So not really worried about anything like that. Okay, they give you extra hardware, I guess, to mount your piece of wood to the front of this, but I'm not, probably not even going to need those because we're going to use some thick wood. So let me first see if we can take this thing apart. There we go. Now I guess that doesn't come off. It probably would. Well, no, it won't. There are 0 directions with this thing as far as telling you what size handle you need. So we'll have to figure that out. But like I said, step 1 is going to be mounting this piece up under here, and then we will have our bigger piece of willow oak. It's going to go here, and it'll come up to the top of our tabletop. So let me see if I got some lag bolts that'll fit this. All right, guys, we're back. I don't have enough lag bolts I was wanting to use. I got 4, so I'm going to have to get 2 more because this does have 6 holes in it. I don't even know if I really need all 6 because, like I said, I'm not only beating on this thing. I did drill these holes out bigger. I drilled them to a 5/16 so I could get bigger lag bolts in them. So first thing we're going to do is find where we're going to put this thing. I'm going to try. I don't know if I can clamp it or not, to be honest with you. I would like to get a clamp right in there, I think. That might be my best bet. I don't think it's going to fit that way, so we're going to have to go. This is one of the things when it gets challenging where I need my little helper. But he's inside playing with his sisters right now, so we'll wing it. All right, so there's the first part of it. Now obviously I need to put another 2x4 back here on the back side to support it, and then we'll screw it in more because that's all going to be hidden. But kind of gives you an idea of what I'm going after here. This thing is massive, you guys. I ain't gonna lie. I'm really impressed with it. I think this will do though, for now. Like I said, we still gotta, I'm just putting these back on to put them on, I guess. Because they ain't gonna do any good right now, but. All right, we gotta go in further. Now remember, you are, whatever size of piece of wood you're putting in there, you are gonna lose a little bit of thickness or the jaw size of it. But I just want to put it together so we can see. Maybe 1 inch might be too much. I might need to even go 3/4 of an inch for my jaw, because I need it to at least hold a 2x, like 2 inch thick. Like for instance, here's some charcuterie boards I'm just started on. They're very rough, but these are 2 inch thick. So I need it to be able to hold something like that. But we'll get a tape measure on it. We'll see what we come up with. Put this hardware back on so I don't lose nothing. There we go. So for the time being, that's all we got right now. But once it's done, it's going to be up high. It'll stick out probably Well, actually, I wanted to see how far out it comes. Because I'm pretty sure them stops. Okay, so right there is what we got. Which comes out to being 7 3/4. So if I do an inch and an inch, it's still going to give me 5 3/4 gripping on it, or max opening, which is still, that's pretty daggone big. So I think it's going to work. I'm going to pull some measurements. I don't know what size this opening is. I have a digital caliper I'll have to put on it. It looks like 7/8 is going to be our best bet though. So we'll get a 7/8 rod made. I do have a buddy that has a lathe. I might be able to just cut off a chunk of that willow oak and have him turn me a handle for it. So for now, this is all we got. We do got to figure out our width, how wide of a grip we want on it. I don't think I want to go crazy. Maybe like 16 inches. And then our height of it, we'll actually have to go from this bottom bracket up. So real close to 5 7/8, more like 5 13/16 would be best. So that's where we're at. I'll be back tomorrow. I guess we'll throw some sawdust all over the shop and get this piece of wood milled. See y'all later. Hey YouTube, welcome back. So we are on day 2 now. We're working on our bench vise, or undermount vise, I guess you call it. And I went ahead and planed down my wood. So that's all taken care of. I think we're at like 1.5 inches thick, something like that. So we're actually about 1 7/16 thick. So I had to go a little bit. It had a little bit of a bow in them there, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do now, or attempt to do here, is find center of this hole, because that's going to show me where center of my vise is at. That way I know where to line up my piece of wood. Now, I cut these down to 16 inches long. Actually, we're a hair over 16. What is going on here? We're not square at all. Like a 16th off being square. I think my miter saw is out of whack again, honestly. It definitely is. This side down here, it's not square at all. You go figure. And this side here is not square either. So I'm probably gonna have to mess with that here later on, I guess. Get my saw straight again. But it's not a big deal with these because we're going to be cutting these down a lot anyways to do in a the shape that we need. It's kind of almost like a triangle shape, I guess, but not quite. So I'll show you all what I'm talking about here though in just a minute. Let me get these lines marked out. I think this will work. I don't know. Remember, there was no directions with this thing, so we're just kind of winging it, I guess. So what I want to do is I'm going to line these lines up, my pencil lines I just drew, something just like that, so I can clamp these in place. Let the whole daggone thing fall. Another one of them deals, guys. I wish I had a spare set of hands. This clamp's probably not going to work because I think this is where I got my 2x4s back here. See if we can get one close. That's close, but too low. So let's see if these bigger DeWalt clamps will work. Get that one out of here. I had to put 2x4s back here behind this to support the vise itself, and I think it's kind of throwing me off just a little trying to use these smaller DeWalt clamps. Let's see if this one will grab onto something. Not a big fan of these clamps here, these big ones. They're not the greatest, but they might work. Just need it to hold it in place so I can mark this out. So here I'm a hair high. I think that'll do. So that's kind of my thought right there. So what I can do Crawl under here, mark out these holes I gotta cut. I think I need a better pencil or even a pen for this because it's going to be a little tight up in there. And it probably would have been easier to have it off the table to do this, but I think this will still work. So let me see if I can crawl under here and mark some holes. There we go. What we get? Hey, that'll work. Now I know this center hole is going to have to be bigger because it's got to be able to accommodate this screw to come through it. And these need to be a little bit bigger also. So that's fine though. It's just kind of giving us an idea of where I need to be at. So that'll darn near be our bottom. This will get cut off about right down here somewhere. I probably should have marked that, but what we'll do, I'm gonna get a scrap piece of wood up here because I do not want to drill into my brand new table under it, just to hold it up, something like that. Now the big question is, do I have the right size Forstner bits? The biggest one I have here is 7/8, which is going to be really close for the, I don't think this is even, I don't know, that's going to be tight. I've got a bigger one, but it's a lot bigger, and I really hate to drill a great big one, but I guess the hole's not really supporting it. It's just there to guide it through, I guess you would say. So we'll go a big hole in the center. We'll do the 7/8 on these smaller ones here, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to pull a camera in for you guys so you can see this a little bit better. And let's get started. All right, hopefully that's a little better for you guys. You can see what I'm going to do here. Goodness gracious, what a mess. But there we go. It might be off just a hair bit. This is going to be my top, hopefully. I guess, see how close this is to fitting. See, I knew that hole was big, but like I said, that don't really matter at this moment, because this is just a temporary, or not temporary, but this piece ain't gonna move, so it doesn't really affect the function of it at all. Biggest thing is getting these rods back in and them actually fitting. I think they will. There's that one. I think that's just what we were wanting there. So what I'm going to do is take this board, clamp it to this one, and drill these again through this piece here, because those do have to line up. It does matter. And then from there, I can start getting the shape of this, because obviously I don't want to leave it as just a board. All right, sorry about that. But what I'm going to do now, like I was saying, is I'm going to take this one back off. We'll clamp it down to this board, and we'll drill them all again. That way we just get everything lined up for right now. And granted, I know they're not straight. It really sucks, but as long as this top is straight, that's what we're after at the moment. So let's just try to get them lined up best we can. I'm not going to drill all the way through right now. I'm just going to kind of mark them. There we go. All right. A little bit of a challenge there, but we got it. So now, let's assemble this thing again. You know, these are going to go on first. I guess it don't matter, but these do need to go on. Then we'll take this piece, the top of it, put this one on. Just going to get it started a little bit. Now I can slide these in. And see, everything still needs a little bit of adjustment to it, which is fine right now. Now, just for the time being, we'll use this smaller, I don't even know what size bit this is, 1/32. I think it'll be, might not be big enough actually for this hardware that comes with it. Actually, it might be. Be really close. Let me get one bigger than this. All right, we'll go with the 1/4 inch. It seems a hair bit bigger. So these are pretty good. Can't complain too much. That looks pretty nice. All right, now we do have to drill those all the way through once we're done, and then we will countersink the backside with a Forstner bit so the nuts can go in and it's not hitting anything, because I don't believe by the time we get through that metal, yeah, we're gonna have to countersink quite a bit because it's not much to grab it. So now the question is, where do we want it to stop at? Do we want it to follow this shape like this? Maybe? Not real sure. Honestly, I'm not. I don't know what I want to do. You know what would look kind of cool though? Is I have some, we're also not going to use cedar on the vise, but what if I used it to follow this line and do something like this to cut it out, both of them? Something just like that. That look kind of cool, I guess. Or do I just want to cut it off straight at the bottom like this? That's kind of basic. I didn't really want basic looking. I think we're going to go with this right here. So we'll take this off, take this one off. There we go. We'll just zip it on both of these, by the way. And then we'll be good. So now, let's take it all back apart again. Need to get these rods back out. There we go. We're getting closer to being done with it. Now again, once I get this apart, I'm going to cut these and do my final milling on them. I ain't going to bore you guys with that stuff because you've seen me mill lumber before. So we're not even worried about that. I'll be back to reinstall this. So I'll see y'all in just a little bit. Stop the camera now. Hey Google, unmute. Hey Google, unmute. Or not, piece of shit. Alright guys, we should be almost done with this thing. So, got it mounted now, rounded over the front. I think we're getting there somewhere at least. I might have to take it all back out again though, because I don't know 100% sure if it's going to line up like I want it to or not. Alright guys, I think I got all my fine tuning done. So let's start assembly on this thing. I did clean up my edges. I had to re-square my table, my miter saw, which if you watch my channel a lot, thank goodness I had a video on there to show me how to do it. Not really, I knew how to do it, but I have made a video showing you guys how to do this in the past. So I was out of whack just a little. Nothing horrible, but it's enough to throw it off just a 1/16 of an inch or more, you know. Now, if everything's correct, these two boards should line up perfect. That ain't bad. So there you go, guys. That's a finished, well, almost finished. Like I said, I still got to get my handle, but getting there. I think it's a nice, it's got a little play in it, but that's in the hand on the rods themselves on it. But yeah, let's test it out real quick. Let's say this massive charcuterie board I'm working on. I do need to clean this live edge up on it. Let's just clamp it in place here. Look at that. That's solid. So there you go. Once again, I'm gonna sit down for a minute and talk to you guys. Vevor product. This is third or fourth product of theirs I've got in my shop now, or for lawn care also. I have two things for lawn care. But I really like their stuff. Seems like good quality. It's simple. It's a good price, so everybody can afford it. And again, Vevor, I keep tagging you in my videos, and now we're also doing TikTok videos for you. So hook us up with a sponsor. See y'all next time.